we're gonna dig into this sucker here. So if you haven't already unpacked yours, we'll open it up here. Are you so excited that I got my crafts cam working? I even was able to label it the right thing this time instead of two Melanies. But this is actually a kit that I take the candy and the little scripture out of it. Some of the newer orders that are going out, we have these new scripture cards. So this is the new theme. And so we did the eucalyptus last time, and now we've switched to these fun spring ones. And then I have like 3 other kinds when we run out of these. But I'm excited about those because I love seeing what you guys do with those. And then you have your insert here. So it just has the theme in there and then some supplies to grab. So to just go over that, things that I have grabbed myself is my Mod Podge, scissors. Obviously, we're probably going to be cutting. And then in here, I always keep my little Ziploc bag in the drawer here. So I think I am going to be doing the napkin tonight. So that's probably, I think that's what I'm going to do. You know, we wing it here. So, hey, Diane. Diane is joining us from Mississippi. I had to type Mississippi today for some reason. I can't remember. I was helping someone with an ad, and they wanted to, they have a live, like a storefront in, I think actually in Alabama. I could be getting this all wrong. It was earlier today. Anyway, she wanted to make sure that people in Mississippi saw it, and it was funny because we both started singing the Mississippi song, trying to spell it. M-I, double S-I, double S-I, P-P-I. She had a different way to do it, something with squiggly letters, but it works. But I thought it was funny that that came back from all the way from elementary. Kelly's saying she loves the candy. I'm so happy that you guys are okay with the smaller ones. They're not necessarily smaller. They're just, what do you call these? Like they're not a sucker. Usually you get the sucker, but I have the hard candies, and the suckers are out, so I can't get them anymore. But I've actually had some emails from people that say they prefer the hard candies rather than the suckers, that they give the suckers to their grandkids. So I might just stick with the hard candies. They don't mail as well in the flat envelopes, but in everything else they do. Okay, so this kit was actually poor Barbara Huber. I don't know if she's on today. She was so excited to order her Holy Holidays kit. She ordered one, ordered some transfers, and then she went back in, forgot she ordered another one. She actually sent me this back because she didn't need to, and so I refunded her and everything. But what I wanted to point out is if some of you have opened your kit and your solo flowers, these little ones, they are kind of delicate, and so if they completely fell apart, I mean, most of them are made pretty good on the back, but if they completely fell apart and were unusable, they've messaged me for replacement. So I've only had a couple, but if that happens to you and yours are completely unusable, will you let me know? I'm trying to package the box so that these harder, bigger pieces are like over to the side, but some of them just they couldn't make the trip. But this one, I'm actually surprised. It went to her and went back, and we're still in. Those three are all in good pieces. So you've got your two bases. We're going to need those to hold the loop up. We've got our metal hoop here. We'll need that. I'm going to put that kind of way over to the side because we won't need that until the way later. You've got 6 feet of your eucalyptus leaves here. I did that one way on the other time I did it. I'm going to be doing a little bit different this next time. Then we've got our sticker, our charm, and there's a little doily in here. These are all different. So there's that for you to use. Oh, my computer over here fell asleep. I just saw Cindy pop on. Hi, Cindy. And we've got our napkins. So I'll take those out because I want to open those up. For a second, I thought those were the same. We've got 2 gift tags we can use for a project. And then we've got our 2 centerpieces for the base of the project. So you can use either the cross or the circle. You can change these out. And then I also had someone ask if I will be carrying more of the circles. And yes, so that if you want to actually switch this out for every season, that's doable too. And then the last thing we have is our rub-on transfers in the Holy Week theme. So let me get this box out of the way. I have a package of the rub-on transfers opened right here. So you can see you've got one of the by his wounds we are healed. So that one has a lot of the lilies on it, the Easter lilies. And then the second one is he is not here for he is risen. So it's got a lot of verses, some of the smaller things, and then also it's got some of the these will fit, like these little gift tags will fit on here. So that's what these are for. I see Stephanie's joined us. Hey, Stephanie. I'm glad you found us because I saw you commented on the event, and I have not figured out how to go live in the actual event. That's my task for next week. I try to add a little bit of tech each week. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here panicking and saying bad words until it's time to get on. And then the last one, the last sheet has the Palm Sunday, and then it has the actual he is risen. So the piece that used to go there is the piece that I used on the last one. So this is a transfer on here, so you can see it's like was completely transparent. It just puts the actual ink or whatever that the sticker is on there, and then the rest comes back up. So that's what was missing in the top of this one here. So those are the transfers, and then the napkins, the two that are our designs, and these are a little rough because, like I said, they traveled a little bit to get back to me. But we've got the He is risen, He is not here. Again, this is ours, so this one is custom printed, so it just has the one print. And then the by His wounds we are healed. This one is ours as well, so it just has one print, and that is the sticker that comes with it as well. Is that same verse. And then this last one is a special buy one I found. So it is thinner. It's not the quality of our napkin, and it does have some pointing on it. The pointing is where you have that like texture right here along the edges, but it does have 4 prints. And I know you guys love the napkins that have 4 prints, so that's a bunch of different projects that you can do with that one. So the first thing that I've got to do is figure out, and I feel like this is the hardest part, which designs to use for my centerpiece. I did grab some chalk paint because I haven't used paint in a while, and I was almost wondering, I feel like this color matches. I'm probably going to go with the circle again, but if I do that, you know what? Maybe I'll do the chalk paint and the see, you guys, this is the hardest decision, is to figure out which one you're going to use. Maybe a chalk paint is so dark, I don't want to get too crazy on it, but I just feel like I want some color. I could also do the chalk paint and then use one of these smaller pieces. I gotta see what'll fit here. As we do have these, the cross really doesn't leave you much to work with. I was just trying to see like what would actually fit on here if there is any of the words that would fit. I could use just the inside of that, but again, because it has the hole in the middle, it really kind of messes up that whole idea. So probably not going with that one. All right, back to the circle. This is probably a good one if you just want to do a solid piece, or maybe like a hem napkin would be that would be cool to do a hem over this, which is not in the kit. So I don't want to do it. But I think a hem would be really good over this. You could do the hem over it, and then it would be a great centerpiece all year long. So I would save that one for a hem. So we're gonna put that aside. Just another that'll be something else that you can do another project with, or if you want to work on that tonight, you guys are working on your own thing and doing your own projects too. So you can take pictures and share them in the comments as you go as well. But that brings me back to my circle. And I really wanted to decoupage this today. I'm worried about, I think I am going to use this. I'm going to use this. All right. I'm doing with that. That's what I'm going to do. Last time I did the rub-on transfer. This time I'm gonna do the decoupage. Maybe I'll layer some transfers on it. I'll keep these close because I might be layering some transfers. All right, let me get my scissors and we'll get started on here. Like I said, it's just been kind of a kooky day. I had Lish in here earlier. She was helping me package all of the orders, but we couldn't even get caught up at all, which is awesome. Like, I love it. But it just means you might have to wait a day or two more than you normally would to get your packages. But the post office has been pretty quick as of lately. I'm actually surprised. I haven't, knock on wood, and not had any lost packages for a minute, so that's good. And yeah, they haven't lost anything. I always get some people are not so happy when the post offices loses stuff, but then there's not anything really that I can do about it once it ships off and is out of my hot little hands. All right, so I'm just kind of lining this up to see if it where it's going to fit or how I'm going to make it go on there. And I think I'm going to go right with that. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off the top layer. This is where I might have to get my glasses on. Oop. I'm going to click into this so that I can see. There we go. Oh no, my sound came back on. All right, turning that off. There we go. Okay, the sound is back off. And I can see comments now, so we're good. All right, I'm just separating the layer so that I just get that top layer. Maybe. Let me know if you're crafting with me. Which did you decide to use? Are you going to use the circle? Which I didn't even think about. I wish I could remember who was it that messaged me and asked about that. Um, if I was going to carry more circles because they wanted to take it and change it out for every season, which I love that. Plus, it's two-sided. So if you don't glue it in, you can do both sides and it'll slip right in there. So the base that this fits into is actually the smaller one. So it just goes right in there like so. And then what did I do with my cross? And then the cross is the same thing. Like it's the same size, so it fits right in there. I gotta grab my transfers that are running away. And my little tags. I might add a little tag on there. I'm gonna keep that one close. I might add something on there. Everything's trying to escape me. Okay, just go ahead and separate. Move that up there. Apply gently. Oops, I say gently right before I tear it, but it's just in the white. We're not going to use that. Alrighty. And then I got my Mod Podge in my little cheater squeezer here. Because then I don't have to worry about sticking my brush in the bottle. You just kind of want a thin, probably should have done my half and half, where I go half and half. I got a little crazy here. And I have a little extra, so I'm gonna start wiping that off over here, because if I have too much on there, I am gonna get bubbles. And I don't want bubbles. Trying to think, do I have the fan on? I do have the fan on. It might dry a little quicker than I would like with the fan on, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to place this over the top. I'm going to try not to stick my arm in the Mod Podge over here. And I think the biggest thing that I'm going to have is I need to make sure that I have enough at the top for my little flower. Oh, no, see, I went too low. I ran out of napkins. So I do wanna make sure that I have napkin at the top since I didn't paint it, and I am gonna have, some wrinkles in there, but we're gonna work with it here in just a minute. Once I get the napkin wet, then it wants to stretch, and so that's kind of what's going on. So I'm just gently working with it, light feathers. Kelly, let me see, oh, I need that cheater. Oh, what's the cheater? Oh, the Ziploc bag cheater? Yeah, this helps too because you can a surface saver because you can line it up with the lines. So that helps me out too, as well. And then Cindy says she's doing the centerpiece with the wound transfer. Oh, so you're using this, and this actually, if you don't want to deal with decoupage, it's actually the transfer as well, which is makes it. It's going to be the same design, but it's just on the transfer, so that makes it nice. Um, Sometimes the bubbles look good. Yes, I do like the bubbles sometimes. So it gives it like a texture, which is nice. I love texture, but I'm not the greatest at, like, giving my projects texture. Like, layering, I don't know why, I feel like I don't have the eye for the layering, but I love all the layering that I see all of you doing. And then Kelly wants to know, what's the ideal date to have the subscription box sent before the craft night lives? Okay, so the craft night lives are the last, I think it's the last Saturday of the month is what I'm trying to do, or the 3rd Saturday of the month. And so you would want it the week before that. I did send out an email last month letting, everyone know that I was gonna start bumping up the shipment date. So, like, if you signed up at the end of the month, I was going to move your payment and your shipping date up in the month so that you're not getting your craft kit after the actual live because this is so new. We didn't have the community until just recently, and the subscription was open all the time. And so people could literally just join at any time, and we weren't doing these live classes, and so they would just get this. I would do the tutorial before the kit came out. But now, since we're doing it this way, I do want to make sure that everyone gets their kit before they get on the live. So pretty much if you're anywhere, as long as it gets processed and shipped by Monday, you should have it by Saturday for sure because like 4 days is the most for shipping usually, unless there's something weird going on. But I'm just using this to kind of work out the the bubbles in it, and then I think I got all the way around. But you can still see there's still a little bit of texture in it. I've got some wrinklies in here, but yeah, it's just enough that it looks, it has some texture and it looks good. The most part that I worry about with why I use the Ziploc is because whenever it has words, especially a lot of words like the hymns, like if you get too many wrinkles, it's hard to read the words. That's probably just me being OCD as well. Let me just make sure up there. The split bottle for the Mod Podge, this is a huge lifesaver. So I did a live a couple, I'm gonna let this dry. I think it's been a couple of few weeks ago, and I bought mine at Dollar Tree, which, like, it's a $1.25 tree now, so annoying, but, I saw them at Walmart for cheaper. They're like 98 cents, and they have cute, Pioneer Women ones for, like, $2 for 2 or, like, um, a dollar something for 1 if you want the cute ones that had, like, the flowers and everything on them. So mine's boring, but I don't know. I kinda wanna go back and get the cute one, but, I haven't yet. 'Cause I'm cheap. Cheap, cheap. I'm like, "What am I gonna do with this one?" We used to, I had 2 of these before because we had to fill all the little Mod Podge things in all the kits, which now you know we're not doing the Mod Podge anymore in the kits, but we do sell the little jars for you if you need them. But that's how we filled all the little kits. That's how I initially started it because we had to fill all those little tiny jars like by hand, which got crazy when we got to so many subscribers. It became a point where I couldn't do that anymore. It was just too crazy. So that's another reason that we had to move from doing the Mod Podge in the little jars because we just have too many subscribers now to stay up to be able to keep doing it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is work on my wire, and this was my nemesis last time. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently, but it does have a seam on here. Like if you look, there is a seam. So when you find the seam, you might want to put that like at the bottom, just so it doesn't end up being at the top of your project. And I think this time I'm going to try and like wrap it around and then go back around. I think that's what I'm going to do this time. So I am going to be working with all of this. If someone else has found a better way to do this, let me know. But last time I just glued it to start. I will tell you, you probably need the stronger glue on it than just the hot glue was a little, it didn't want to cooperate for a minute. So I'm going to put it on there, but I'm probably going to have to hold it as I work around it because it will want to come off. And for some reason, my glue didn't want to dry very quickly last time either. It's a little cooler in here today. I don't know what was going on last time. I don't think my hot glue was drying at all. Maybe I got a bum glue stick. I don't know. These might be delicate glue sticks. I don't know if the quality of your glue stick matters. Maybe someone can let me know. I don't know if that's a thing or not. It could be. Maybe I need some name brand glue stick. Okay, that's on there, but again, I am going to support that sucker because I feel like it's gonna pop off. It's fine once you get it made, but like when you're yanking stuff around, not so much. And the reason I'm doing it this way this time is because I want this to be thicker than it is on my the first one I did. So I'm gonna like twist it around and tack it at the bottom, and then I'm gonna twist it around and go back up, and then I'm gonna twist it around and go back down until I run out. That's my plan this time. Plus, I don't want so much blank spot in what I had in the first one I did. And again, there may be a better way to do this. I think next time I do these, I'm gonna do a different type of foliage. Now I tied it in a knot. That's probably not good. All right, I'm gonna have to lay it down. I got too crazy. This stuff does want to like stick to itself. They were fun trying to get them all separated to ship. I will tell you that. Each little thing had a mind of its own. Oh my gosh. All right, I have created a whole tangly mess here with all the little tails. All right, we'll just keep working this. All right, there we go. I got that part. All right. I thought it'd be not so crazy when I'm stringing it through. All right, again, I'm just going around the hoop so you can just see I'm just working, twisting it around. And I'm gonna get it to the bottom and then I'm gonna start going back up. But I want it like all the way to the bottom here. Hopefully you're not getting dizzy seeing my stuff fling all over the place. Okay, so now I have it pretty much through the bottom. So you can see, I'll put it down here. Or maybe it would be easier if I showed you this way. So I pretty much have it all the way through the bottom. I really don't even want to go that high. All right, so this is what we have so far. I'm going to tack it down at the bottom, and then I'm going to start going back up again. Again, the whole point of this is I just want a thicker line look. than I got the first time I did this. I'm gonna move some stuff back. I feel like I need more room for all these activities. Okay. All right. So again, I'm just gonna tack it at the bottom. And I try to stick the glue on the back. You're gonna want to go past where the actual base is gonna go because you don't want a bunch of glue and like thickness here where we're gonna have to stick the base on. All right, so I'm gonna hold this for a little bit so that it makes friends here. I'm just holding that. Um, yeah, Kelly said that's way too much work. Squirt bottle little Mod Podge things was, and it was killing my hands. Like I swear I'm getting arthritis in my old age, in my aging, and yeah, it was really hurting my hand. And so I just made a decision that there's got to be a better way. Okay, so I'm looping it back through here again, just going in between where I had it before, going back up, trying not to tangle my stuff. Oh yeah, this is already looking fuller. Okay, this is looking. I know it probably looks super awkward for you trying to follow along with just seeing my foliage flying all over the place. And then I did want to mention for some of you, I mean, you're on here, so I'm sure it's not an issue, but there was a bunch of people that were worried about if we were still going to post the tutorials on YouTube or outside of the Facebook group, outside of this group. And yes, we are. I'm just using this video that we do today as the tutorial. So I can show you it's already looking like fuller than it was before. So I will take this video that I'm doing today, and it's going to be the tutorial. And then I will upload it to YouTube and on the website like normal. And so we'll still have the tutorials available for everybody, not just in the group. But I just didn't want to have to record it twice. And so I'm just going to use this video as the tutorial recording. All right, so I'm just gluing it again in that same spot and holding it so that it dries. And then I'm going to work it way back down. Yes, I totally feel, Kelly, that every crafter needs Mod Podge. You know, it was so funny. I had not used before I started this company, I had not used Mod Podge in forever, probably since like I want to say high school, like high school art. And my sister came to visit. Oh, see that already popped off. It didn't want to stay. I'm gonna have to glue it again. My sister came to visit, or I went to visit. We flew down there last year for my grandma's celebration of life. But she had moved, and, you know, when you move, you find stuff that you haven't seen in, like, forever. So she had moved, and she found this decoupage, like, little charm box that I had made her way back. It had to be, like, high school or just, like, 13 years different. So it had to be, like, high school, and, she had saved it, and she found it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's a sign." Like, I felt like it was a sign from God that this is what I was supposed to do all along because here I am decoupaging and giving decoupage tips way, way back in, in high school, and I totally forgot, like, when she showed me, I was totally remembered making it, but before that, before she showed me, to I totally forgot that I had decoupaged her a little box and gave it to her, and it was like a little present I had made for her. She's my younger sister, so I took it as a sign. But yeah, now I love Mod Podge. I think because it's an easy medium for everyone to work with, and it's so versatile. This is gonna work out perfectly if you are wrapping it with me. I know it's a pain in the tootie to get it all the way around, like, this is a little bit of work, but it's looking much fuller, and it's gonna be just enough that it's gonna end right where we need it to end. So you can already see, like, this one is much fuller than the one that I did before, and I'll show side by side once I get it all wrapped around here. I had to send my poor husband to the post office. We have, or the UPS store where all my packages come in because I have more restocks coming in. Well, they're these restocks, but they're in, more of the ones that I just released coming in that just got dropped off. And, I was gonna go get them tomorrow, but you guys have all been ordering so many. I was like, "Gotta go get them tonight." So when Liz gets here tomorrow, she can keep processing the orders. So that's where he went. He ran it, to the UPS for me so that I didn't have to. Okay, and then this worked out great because this is all of the tail that I have left is just this little bit, right here. So I'll probably cap it off right there. This is way fuller than the first one I did. I'm super happy with this. It might get a little tricky when I go to do the base, but I will cross that bridge when I get there. Aw, thank you. Kelly said that I'm answering his calling. Evidently, isn't that funny how I swear, maybe it's just me, but I spent so long just not knowing what God wanted me to do, like, knowing that I needed to be doing like, I was called to do something, but just not knowing what it was, and then constantly I feel like sometimes maybe it's just me that I look at where other people are finding success, and I think, "Oh, maybe I'm supposed to do that because it's kind of in the same lane, but not." And so you end up chasing, like, what everyone else is doing and not doing what you're really supposed to be doing, but in when you finally figured it out, like, it seems so obvious. I don't know. I have a funny relationship with God. I am definitely the sheep that keeps trying to run out of the pasture because I think that's the way that I'm supposed to be going, and then he has to, like, yank me back. I was raised on a farm. We didn't have, like, a ton of animals, but we had horses and we had sheep. So all of the stories that have, the whole shepherd and the sheep running and the shepherd calling and understanding the shepherd's voice, I completely understand because we were raised with sheep. And one of the funny things about sheep and the fact that he uses sheep so much in the Bible is that sheep are not smart at all. They are one of the dumbest animals that I've ever had to work with. Like, when a sheep is stuck in the pen, like, we had this, I can't remember what it's called, but it's wide wire. It's not like the small fencing. It's like the big squares like this. Well, the sheep, because 'cause they're trying to escape, they constantly get their head stuck in that wire because they're trying to escape. So they think because they have their head out that they're, like, halfway out. They're on their way to escaping. And so they get stuck, and they can literally, like, choke themselves to death. Like, that's how not smart they are. And so you have to back the sheep up to pull it out of where it's stuck, but the sheep will not work with you. The sheep is still trying to go forward because it's trying to escape. It never works with you and, like, backs up. You completely have to fight the sheep and pull it back to get it out to save its life. And I think when you take that into perspective and the fact that God uses sheep and shepherd in the Bible so often, I wonder if, he's like, "You people are sometimes not the smartest," because that's definitely what it feels like. Okay, so I just wanna show you, side to side. So this was the first one that I did. So you can see, like, it's kind of all the leaves are, like, out to the side, and we don't have a lot of fullness in the actual, wreath part, and then this is the other one. So we've got way more fullness, and obviously, this part down here, it worked really good. this part, I probably need to work with these a little bit, and maybe I have to tack. Oh, yeah, see when I turn it like that? So maybe I need to, like, tack that right there so it's sitting where I want it to sit. And these are probably things I could do at the end, but just because I'm thinking about them now, um oh, I don't even have to tack it. Oh, I do need to tack it. Okay, I am gonna tack it. So you need to figure out what's the front and what's the back. I did grab some lace today too because I thought the lace might be a good way to cover up any boo-boos so they're not as obvious if there is any spots that I just don't like. So yeah, I'm just gonna tack this right here. Just so that the leaves are kind of facing and sitting the way that I want them to sit instead of trying to rotate inward. I'm already liking this one better than the other one, I can tell you that. Yeah, Kelly says she likes the fuller one too. Yeah, truth be told, I was a little disappointed the first time I did it on the other live, that was, like, my practice run. Alright, so this one you can see, like, it's a lot fuller. So, we're getting a much better look with the twisting it around. So, that is the way I would suggest you do that one. Alright, I'm gonna put this somewhere. I'm gonna put it aside over there. I have limited table space because I've got my little craft can going on here too. Okay, I'm gonna bring back this, and I have my sanding block. I'm just gonna sand the edges. And if you haven't used the sanding block before, you're just gonna make sure that you're sanding away from you. Like, don't go back and forth because it'll rip up the edges. Yeah, so I had sheep. I was in 4-H. I remember one year I was in the fair, and my parents had paid all this money. You have to have your sheep like professionally sheared so that it's like looks good. And so my parents pay all this money. I don't even know how much. Everything was. I mean, everything. I don't know. Everything was expensive to me. So she paid all this money, and they shear my sheep, and it's perfect. Well, I don't know if it's perfect. It looked pretty dang good to me. So we're waiting to go out there to get judged because they have like certain times to go out there to get judged, and then you have these little clippers that they give you. First of all, no one should ever give me clippers. So they have these little clippers that they give you, and the purpose of the clippers is so that if you see like an uneven area, you're supposed to just like trim it so it looks good. So let me just let you guess what I did at like, gosh, probably 11, 12. It's pretty much what happens when you do like your eyebrows or your eyeliner or anything that you're trying to make symmetrical. So I would see an area and I would like trim it up, and then you would see like another area and like trim it up. But then like how like when you trim it, oh, you trim too far, so then you've got to even out the areas around it. I probably went from having like a blue ribbon to like having no ribbon or a red ribbon. I hacked that poor sheep up. It did not look good. By the time we got out there, my OCD and those clippers, that thing was a mess. It was a mess. My parents were like, "What did you do?" Yeah, that was my last year of showing sheep. I brought that sheep. I let that sheep go in the house one time when my parents were at home because we lived in the middle of nowhere. And the dang thing pooped on the floor. Luckily, it's like rabbit pellets, but it pooped on the floor in the house. And so my kids and my husband make fun of me because I told them that story. That they're both from the city, so they cannot imagine having one an animal in the house and two having an animal poop in the house. So poop happens, right? I don't know. It gives me character, I feel, and a sense of humor. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to put my, you can't see the way I'm doing it, sorry. I'm going to put the base onto the bottom of this. And so I'm just going to have to find a work around. So I tacked it right there. So I want to stay away from that spot. But I'm just going to find the spot where I can get it attached on there. and I'll have to get my little vine spray out of the way without everything coming apart. So I'm gonna do it where it's hard for you to see, but that's what I'm doing because I'm gonna need to jam it in here and just move these out of the way. Probably could have stuck it in there before I did this, but, hindsight 2020. Oh, see, I'm not gonna even need the spot that I glued because I've gotta scoot it over anyway. Alright, so this is gonna be a little bit tricky. Alright, so I'm just making the room to get it in there. It's like a workout. I'm sweating over here. Alright, I got it halfway done. Oh, jeez. I need, like, a whole 'nother hand. If you do it this way, you might wanna give yourself some, wiggle room with your vines to get this to be able to move them. Okay, I got one side in, I'm just working on getting the other side in. Since I've got 3 vines, it's just getting each of the vines out of the way so that it'll snap in there. And I'm probably gonna, like, hit myself in the face a bunch of times. Alright, let me know how you guys are doing with your vines. Alright, I'm just moving these out of the way to get this in here. So you get one thing to work, and then it's, like, something else that's like, "Oh, no, it doesn't want to." The vines can go on the top and it can go in, they just can't go on the bottom. So it's just getting everybody in the right seat on the bus here so you can get it in. Alright, I'm 3/4 in. So close. My trusty precision transfer tool to the rescue here. Yeah, it's just the vines don't wanna give. I'm gonna get it in there though. I don't know, giving up. Ooh, ooh. So close. So close. Moving them out of the way. My biggest thing is I don't want my tack at the end here to come undone, and that's what is trying to happen. I didn't think this through when I decided to wrap it around this way. Just watching. Now you know what not to do, Kelly. Alright, it's gonna get a little winky here. I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna put some glue in the spot that I know fits, so I can at least get that one end in. But my problem is if I don't get this all the way in here, and I don't get these things jammed in here, then my little top isn't gonna sit all pretty, on top of it. So that's why I'm really trying to get with it. Worst case scenario, I can clip and glue these, which is what I might do just so that I have everything sitting where I want it to sit, but I'm only gonna clip the ones that are in the way, which I think is this one. Yeah, it was that one vine. Okay, so that did it. As soon as I clipped that one vine, I could get all of it in there, and so now you can see it's on there. It was just the one vine that was in the way. So now I've gotta just mess with jamming these in there. So you are gonna wanna try and get these probably out of the way unless I can get this, which I probably can. Okay, I'm just sliding my base under the vine. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna slide it under there because I wanna keep the fullness around the base. That's where I'm gonna tuck the flowers and everything, so I don't wanna lose that. So again, if you're doing it this way, you're gonna wanna leave yourself some give in these vines to play with these bases. Okay, so I've got it in there. So right now it's just sitting in there because that's what's gonna hold the actual, um, base. So at this point, it's good. I am gonna tack it in there. I wanna glue it in there so it doesn't move. But as far as, like, my vines and stuff, because I still want to have that piece here, that has some fullness, and so I don't wanna lose that by cutting those. That's my goal that I'm trying to go with here. Why I'm, like, getting stuck. Oh, geez. I just had some random piece of glue try and jump in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna tack this right on there. And since I glued it in the front, I don't need to do it in the back because it's fine. So now you can see I've got both pieces on there. So you need the second one so that you can stick your design in there. So you can stick this guy in there. So I'm gonna do that next just to see where we are. So I do wanna figure out what is the front and what is the back because that's going to matter when I'm sticking my design in there. All right, again, I'm just pulling these back and I kind of get it straight. So if I leave it where it is right now, this is kind of what I'm working with. Like you can see that these are trying to stick up. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and pin those, glue those down so that they're not sticking in front of my design. If I was using the cross, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but since I'm using the round one, I do want those out of the way. So it might be kind of hard for you to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how to make it so you can see what I'm doing here. I don't know if I can. I think I did it that way last time, so I just leaned it. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and tack some of these leaves down that are trying to, this is just because they're twisted, they're trying to stick up. So I'm just gonna take the glue and just kind of tack them down. And they're gonna want to, it's easier if you can get the actual leaf part rather than the little stem part because it doesn't want to stick as well. Actually, I'm just gonna stick the glue right on the leaf. And I'm just tacking them down here. And you're not gonna see this part that I'm doing right now because I'm gonna add some of the solo flowers on there, so you won't see this. It's kind of just like covering up the base is what it's doing. And then I do have where I cut is trying to poke out there, so I'm gonna hide that in there. Kelly says she's taking notes. Probably good. As I've said before, like I am not like the craftiest person by any means. I just like to craft. My mom is actually the crafty one. She can sew and paint, do all these things, not me. So it's just relaxing to me. So I'm just gonna have fun and do the best that I can. Again, I'm just tacking these down, kind of hiding the base a little bit, and I may have to mess with it a little bit more as I get to where I'm finished. These ones I could probably tuck and be okay with. So this is what it looks like now. So again, if where's the other one? That one I could probably just tuck behind and it'll be fine. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I would probably want to do is work with my flowers. The last time I did use this giant one, everyone gets different flowers with their kit. So you might not have these ones. You may have different ones. I actually brought some ribbon too, so I might play with this a little bit too. Maybe if I can get it open. Hey, Catherine. Catherine joined us. She's a little late. No worries. You just missed me messing around with my vines for like ever. I couldn't get them to work. Manipulating the eucalyptus again. All right, I think I'm gonna do like a scrappy kind of bow here. So I'm just gonna cut a bunch of. I might have to grab some jute too because I don't think I have any over here. I'm just making this up as I go along. This time, like I said, I think I'm just gonna do the bow instead of doing all three flowers just to give it a different look. I'm just making a pile. I don't even know how many of these that I have grabbed. Trying to figure out how big I want this to be. I think I should have cut these not this length. All right, I'm gonna grab some food real quick. I should have on hand, but I'm gonna decide if I wanted a already cut piece or shorter pieces. I have some ribbon that has some jute in it too. All right, how? All right, I'm gonna put that aside. I'm doing this a different way. Sorry, I know I keep looking up my. I was gonna do one type of bow, and then I just decided right now I'm gonna do a different type of bow. All right, so I need to figure out how wide I need it. That's probably good. And I'm just gonna keep folding this over. I don't know why I didn't do this type before. All right, I'm just gonna keep making loops with this. Can you even see what I'm doing? Am I like not even doing it on the camera? Sorry. Is the cross in the center with the circle? No, you have to choose one or the other, unless you could like glue it back there. But only one or the other fits an actual base at a time. So I just did the circle on this one, and then the cross is another project. Or because since I didn't glue it, you could take this out and you could put the cross in there and switch it out for like a different project. So that's how I did it. But yeah, if you just want to switch it out for different seasons or different holidays or whatever, you just not glue it in the base because it does just barely fit in there. Like just jams right in there. You don't have to do anything else with it. These are not my best scissors either. I always forget to grab the good scissors. These are the ones I leave out for my son to, play with so that he's not using, like, my favorite scissors. Alright, so this is kind of what I'm thinking here. I feel like it needs more texture. I have burlap ribbon for days, but okay. So I'm gonna play with this again. Let me clear this stuff out because I do wanna be careful not to here's what I was kinda thinking, Catherine, it just slides in and out. So if you wanted to use the cross, you could just use I could switch it out and put the cross in there. Maybe do that, and then my blinds get in the way and I can't jam it in there. But you could do the cross too, but yeah, as long as you don't glue it, you can switch it out for whichever. Once I get all this other stuff in there, though, it might be a little bit more difficult to add the stuff in and out. I feel like I needed some of that, ribbon from last month with the polka dots. Last month's kit. Alright. I am just making another, like, smaller bow that I'm gonna put in the inside. Maybe I've never done this side before. Look at me getting all crazy with the bows. I'm trying to figure out which flower I'm gonna use. We'll see how big this gets by the time I get done with it. I heard my husband came in. He has boxes. I hear him. I haven't even made dinner yet. That's how behind I am today. I'm like, "I'll do it after." It's probably gonna be a pizza night. I teach a class Thursday morning, for other business owners, and so I've already done, like, 1 live training today, and then I was gonna do the regular Thursday live that I've been doing, and I was gonna do a project with the some of the restocks that came in, but I was just between all the orders and, Miss Lish was here today on a Thursday. She's usually not. She usually comes in Wednesday to do packages, but she had a personal thing yesterday, so she asked if she could work today, so I was like, "Okay, yeah." And it was just too crazy. I could not get it all done. And so I'm gonna do the live tomorrow. Um, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. But I'll do something with the restocks because we've had a ton of restocks come in, and I'm super excited about some that I haven't seen in a while. There was one of the it's either Jesus is Calling or one of the Jesus ones, and I didn't even know we were out of it. Like, that's how crazy it is here, y'all. I did not even know we were out of it. Ah, okay. Catherine, you're wise to watch and then craft because you know I'm a hot mess half the time, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it work. Okay, so I was gonna cut the ends, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna mess with it. So I'm gonna put this thing down here. Again, this is just to give you guys ideas. You definitely don't have to do anything I'm doing. Um, all right. Like I said earlier, I am going to try to uh I almost said paste, but I guess that's glue. I am gonna try and glue it to the base in the front a little bit so that I'm making this so I can take this in and out. If you're gonna be permanent and not switch it, then you don't have to worry so much about this because you could just glue it all together like I did on the first one I did. All of this is just glued together. Like, I can't take the circle out without breaking it because the, flowers are actually glued to the circle. So if you're gonna do something permanent like that, then you don't have to be overthinking all of this like I am right now. So, alright, I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna stick my glue. I feel like I'm always running out of a glue stick, like, in the middle of a class. Alright, and I'm just gonna tack it to the front there, and I'm just gonna hold it where you can't see. Oh, you can kinda see there? Okay, yeah, I'm just holding it to the base. Alright, I feel like this is coming together. We're getting something. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, this is garbage. Sorry, guys." Like, honestly. Then I see your guys' projects, and they're all, like, gorgeous and beautiful, and I'm like, why am I even doing this?" Okay, so this is what we kinda got here. I'll lift it up here in a minute. And then because so I could do that and stick the flower in the middle if I wanted to use the flower. I think if I use, like, a bigger one, it's gonna cover the bow, but it's gonna cover more of the bow, but that's a little bit bigger centerpiece. I kind of almost like that one better. Oh, I forgot to tell you about these flowers. One of the reasons oh, Kelly said she doesn't know what she's doing either. Okay, great. I actually had somebody that was in the club who shares the little personal with you, and they canceled because they said it was too simple for them and they were too advanced. And I seriously felt bad for, like, a couple days. And then I was like, "You know what? That's fine. There's a club for them and it's not this, and that's okay." I want everybody to be able to do the crafts because a lot of the stuff I watch is so advanced. I'm like, "I can't even do that." So mine are a little bit more on the simple side. It's fine. But what I want to tell you with these flowers is you can paint these because they are wood. You can paint them, you can dye them, so you don't have to leave them white. If you wanna dip them in dye or dip them in paint, it's wood, so they'll take the color, but I'm just gonna leave it white. You guys know I keep everything pretty natural, um, because that's just the aesthetic of my house is we do a lot of, just neutrals and then pops of color. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna glue this sucker right on top of because I decided I do like the bigger one. And again, I'm gonna try and get it so that it's not on the I'm not gluing it to the wood, but I'm gluing it to the base and the flower. And this is kind of a fat piece, so I'm gonna have to hold it here for a minute. I'm really liking how this turned out. If you have, the ribbon, I felt like it needed something when I did the first time. Okay, so far, this is what we've got with this one. So again, with the twisting, you might have to, like, have to manipulate your vines to get it, so that it looks a little bit more fuller, but you can tell this one is way more full than the first one I did. So here's this one, and then I'll show you the other one. As far as the vines, so this one, when I did this tutorial, it was just cutting them, and they kind of started layering on top of each other, and this one was the twisting around and then going back up, and then going back. Oh, thank you, Kelly, that you love the bow. You know bows are my nemesis. I really struggle with that. Okay, and then the only other thing that I thought might be cute, which this could be me going, overboard. I'm gonna put this to the side here. Somewhere I'm running out of sides to put stuff. Um, is I think we can work in one of these tags. I thought this would be fun to add one of these tags to it, but I wanna get out the transfers. So when you get your transfer package, it does come with a tool. I have a collection of them over here. It comes with um, the plastic tool to do the rub-on transfer. So I just wanted to see if one of these tags would work. So there's this one that might fit, one that one just barely fits. I'm just trying to hold it up to the light to see. This one just barely fits, so that could be an option. Doing the cross again could be an option. I was kind of thinking this one, And this is where the paint could come in, but this color that I grabbed is way too of a color for that. So I think because I don't have a color, I'm just gonna use the transfer as is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one. And I'm gonna add this to my little bow. Oh my gosh, it's sticking to the surface paper. All right, moving this out of the way. Okay, so with the transfers, if you haven't used them before, super simple. You're just gonna cut them out, cut out the one that you want to use. Thank you, Stephanie. She said it turned out so pretty. Okay, and then Kelly, do you not have your kit yet? Or did you order it yet? Honestly, I can't remember. There's been so many orders. So you just pull the back off, and then you just want to make sure you can touch all of this white stuff. It's not sticky. Like anywhere where it's clear, it's not sticky. But as soon as there's design or words, this part is super sticky. If you stick your finger on that, the sticker is going to come off with your onto your finger. And it is going to be ruined. It is super sticky. So anywhere where it's clear, you can touch. If it's not clear, don't touch it. All right, and then I'm gonna move it a little bit closer to me so my blind eyes can see and make sure that it was straight. So yes, we do have some kits. If you have a kit or if you want another kit, we still have kits available. I think there was 58 as of yesterday. And I did see a few more orders come in today. Okay, so I'm just sticking it right in the middle there, and then use the tool to just rub it in. Don't ask me how I'm gonna attach this to the other, to the whole hoop thing, but we'll figure it out in a minute. Alright, so then to make sure that it's on, you're just gonna start peeling it, and see how I'm peeling it and the design is starting to come up in the corner there? That means it's not stuck yet. So I'm gonna keep working on it. So these ones you do wanna go slow. You don't just wanna stick it on there and peel it off and be like, "Oh, I'm done." Like, go slow. The ones that are full like this, where the whole design is like one big thing, those are really easy. The ones where they're like words like this, each of these letters is an individual sticker, basically. So you really have to rub in there and make sure that it's on there before you start going all ripping it off. And if you saw the other tutorial I did, you would see where those lines there you go, I just peeled it off. Where the lines are were kind of sticking and coming up. How can I tell the difference? Kelly, how do you tell the difference on which part? Sorry, I didn't see when your comment yeah, so now that it's on there, like, you're good to go. You just wanna make sure that it's when you start pulling it, that it's not lifting, back up, that it is actually stuck. I had a candle I was telling you, last time that I actually, like, rubbed off one of the letters, so the verse, um, I think it is well with my soul. It just has the L's came off, so it says it is we with my soul. Nobody would probably notice, right? It's just me, just I'll notice. Like, if you don't read it. Okay. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna stick it in there or something like that. So if I was smart, I would have, like, connected it to my one of my loops here in my bow, but I wasn't thinking of that. Oh, can you tell if the words are together or separate? Okay. How you can tell is if there's color or if there's not. So how this has a whole color background, I'll take it apart so you can see. These are a good example right here. So you can kind of see where this one has a whole color background, but this one has individual letters because the background is see-through. So if the background is see-through, then all of those are individual graphics. But if the background's all one color, it'll come off as one sticker. When you get them and you can see them up close and in person, you can kind of see the little, like, white transparent around each letter, or the white transparent, like, that's not even a thing. You can see the transparent around each letter once you see them, like, up close and personal when you take the top off. But I just wanna let you know that so you don't get your finger, like, stuck in there and it's stuck to your finger, and then it ruins your designs, which happens, and then people get mad at me, so I just wanna make it clear. Okay, I'm putting a little thing on this because I'm not actually sure how I'm sticking it in there yet, so we'll put the little tag on it. Alright, so now I just have, like, how cute is this by itself? Alright, I'm gonna stick this in here somehow. I should have made it bigger so it wrapped around the flower. Alright. Hold please while I mess with this again. Sorry. You're not gonna be able to see, unfortunately. I don't think, because I think my eucalyptus leaves are in the way. Oh my gosh. Catherine, you would I got mean email today. I had some lady today. Alright, I'm redoing this. No, maybe I'm not. I think I'm just gonna tag it in the back here. I had some lady today that, because it literally is just those of you who are here, like, it's just me that runs all of this, and then I hired Lish to help me. So, it's me doing the emails, it's me doing the social media. I actually just wrapped it around the back is what I did. It's me that has to answer when someone pops up on chat and wants to chat on the shop, or it's, like, literally phone calls, like, it's just me. And so she had, sent an email. For some reason, sometimes when I respond to your guys' emails, for some reason, sometimes they go to, I don't know why, I haven't been able to figure out, but sometimes it goes to junk or spam. So you can send me an email and have a question about something, and I respond to the emails, I'm not even kidding you, every day. Like, I respond the day that you send it. At the worst case and the latest, it's the next day. I respond right away. So what happened was, I guess my email probably went to spam. So then when she had messaged me today, on the site, I was actually in the middle of teaching that class. And so I couldn't answer the shop messages because I was teaching the class. And so she messaged once on it, and then she messaged again, and then she messaged and was like, "Obviously, this is a scam website and I'm not ordering." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh." And usually when it gets to that point, like, I know someone's really upset, I will try to call them if there's phone numbers on there, but she's not a customer yet, and so all I had was her email. So I responded to the shop message, which those also go to email if you message me on the store and I'm not there or I can't answer right away. Sometimes I'm driving, like, people get mad, I'm not, like, responding right away and I'm literally, like, in the car. So, oh, she says, "Oh, you're quicker than I think." Well, who is that? Oh, Linda. See, I was on top of it for Linda. Yeah. So, I responded to her, but it's gonna go to email too, but I'm hoping sometimes when they come from the shop messages, they don't go to spam. So the poor thing thinks I'm a scam, and then I just feel bad. Oh my gosh. Well, Kelly says my response time is awesome. Thank you. I do need to hear that because, like, it makes me sad, because I do know there is a lot of scam websites out there, but I am not one of them. I'm a real person. I'm here answering everything. Okay, so here's what we've ended up with, I think. I know the light's kind of wonky, so you can't see it. There we go. I like the tag. I think it works good. So again, this still should be I'm gonna put it down so I can take it out. Yes, I can still take it out, and then if I wanted to just put the, take it over here so you see if I scooch it over a little bit, I can stick this. I gotta move my one little tail. I have one straggly little vine tail that wants to go in every time I stick something in there. Or I could just push it out, and again, if I was just gonna do the, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'm gonna paint the cross. That's gonna be my pop of color. Alright, it's happening. Moving this out of the way again. I put that right on the edge. I hope to dear heavens it does not fall off the edge and break. That's gonna be a whole 'nother problem. I'm gonna paint this, teal. That's gonna be my pop of color, so you guys can see what that looks like. The tag does add to it. I love the tag. That was a last minute decision, but I think was a good one. So this is just, aqua Hello Hobby chalk paint, nothing fancy. I was gonna say if I'm lucky, the paper will be stuck to the top, but, evidently I already ripped it, so it's not. Alright, so I'm just gonna paint this because I wanna see what it looks like if we have just a pop of color in there. These are pretty much the pop colors in my house. I like this aqua teal and then red. I feel this is a little more Eastery than red. So those are the colors that I'll use most if I'm doing accent colors. I'm really liking how this second one turned out. I'm glad this was a tutorial. I'm glad I did the other one first to realize what not to do. I feel I have a little bit more together this time. And again, you could do, some transfers on here. It would have to be a small one. I almost wish I didn't do a cross with the cross in the middle because then a transfer could go right across, but since we have the tag, I think it's okay not to have too much going on. I do tend to like to keep things more on the simple side, only because I don't know how to make it pretty if we do a whole lot. I feel like sometimes my stuff gets messy. Okay, I got the front. I'm just gonna go and clean up these edges here. Yes, Kelly says let the cross be the showstopper. I like that. Yes, I love this color too. I think when I bought it, I was just like, "I just like that color. I'm gonna buy it." You would probably wanna do the back too, but just for today's sake, I'm just gonna do the front. I had that craft dryer, or what is it, like a heat gun or something? It's my husband's, and, I haven't used it in so long, I think he took it back and put it back in the garage. I got it taken away, because I wasn't using it. I don't blame him, he might need it. How do you all know the timing was? Was somebody telling me, like, Easter is really early this year? I kind of got squished together because we had Valentine's Day and then we're right into Easter, and I'm hoping that I got everything out to you guys in enough time that you have time to craft for Easter. Last year, I know I was really late because it was the first year that I'd started doing kids, and my timing I mean, it wasn't super late, but I wasn't as early as I probably should have been on some of the holidays. So this year, I feel like I've had the goal to be better so that you're not waiting on me. Although I did have people asking me in the chat for Easter, like, last month, like, before Valentine's Day. So but I get, Valentine's Day is not a Christian holiday by any means, so not everyone's gonna participate in that, so I get it. But it's a great opportunity to do all the love verses, and then, of course, there's always, like, weddings that will be coming up that people are crafting for in the summer. Okay, I think I've got the edges pretty decent. Alright, so I'm just gonna go to the front and do another coat just so it's not so see-through. I need to actually clean my surface saver here. I was noticing last time I still have the red here from the last class I did. I am working on another design of the surface saver, so the next one that we release will have a Bible verse in the middle. I haven't exactly landed on which one. We're still debating between 2, and it's gonna be pink. So if you like pink, that is coming. I've got, like, a brush hair in here. Um, Probably closer to Christmas, though, so don't it's not coming anytime soon. It'll take longer to make and, longer to ship because I can't, ship those by air because 'cause they're just way too heavy. So we have to wait for it to get here. It takes longer to get here. And then I did find a scrapbook printer. However, I have not had any kind of design in scrap paper. I started and then I got frustrated and then I kind of put it aside. So scrap paper's coming. I just not sure when because I'm gonna have to find a design that I like. Alright, so I'm gonna let that dry. Just trying to make sure all my brush strokes are going the right way. It almost turned out I know it's with aqua, but once you get it on the wood, it's almost closer to like a robin egg blue. Not that I know my colors, but it just seems a little more blue as blue green. Okay, so we'll let that sit there so it can dry, and see what else we have here. I'm not gonna use this on my design, but I'm just gonna show you one of these other so this one is designed to line up with this one. It doesn't line up perfect, but it's as close as I could get with the design program that I have. So, I do my best. Oh, Kelly says, yeah, super Easter is really early this year. I thought it was too. I don't know how they decide, like, when it is. Why is it sometimes it's in March and sometimes it's in April? Like, how do they decide all that? Like, I feel like it moves around, not just by a little bit, by weeks. Like, it's either, like, 2 weeks early or 3 weeks early or 2 weeks late. Like, it's not just, like, a matter of days. It's so weird. But then I guess this year's, like, a leap year too, so there's that. Okay. So on this, I did put the design face down, and then that's gonna allow me to, like, stick as close as I can. Again, I'm not gonna touch the actual color, but I just wanna try and get it on here. Now, one thing that I've noticed is if you do line up with the hole, which this is a bummer on this one, I feel like it's a little bit off, then you end up with all this down here. So what I've kind of done with the other ones is I've used other graphics to cover that up. So I will layer the transfers. Oops, don't need that one. I will layer the transfers to get kind of the look that I want, or put other things on them. So this is where you probably need to do like a mixed media. Reason being, I cannot find the tags that fit this. Like this is a standard size sticker tag, but I am not finding standard size stickers. Or this part is standard size, but the wood tags, like every one that I've ordered in, is all freaking funky. It's not like the right tag. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this on here, and then I'm gonna go back with some of the other flowers, and I'm just gonna layer it. It was sticking, so I gotta keep pushing it. Well, see, Kelly likes the layers too. Okay, so you can see, like, this is not sticking at all. This one's being a pain in the patootie. If it starts to get too nasty, I will go in and get, like, the stronger tool to work, because this doesn't bend, these bend, um, but the transfer tool doesn't, so sometimes that's the pressure that you need to get it all the way on there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it is coming up now, but because it's overlapped, meaning it's going over the edges, it wants to lift there. All right, now I'm gonna have to get my sanding board again and to just take off the edges. So this one does get a little funky because it has the bends. So you do need something that has an edge to get in there. So you can see how it's coming off there. So same technique that you would use for the Mod Podge. Mod, Mod Podge. Again, going pressure front back. Don't go back and forth because it could rip it up. All right, so this is what I have right now. And then what I can do is get some more of the flowers from one of these, where's my sheets? So there's other flowers in here that we could use to take and cover that bottom. And I've also got the Palm Sunday ones here too. So I'm just kind of trying to see what I have to work with. I could also take some of the flowers out of here if I want. Um, I'm just seeing what I want to do. What do I want to do? I could also take some lace and I could put some lace across the bottom. There's a bunch of different things that I can do. That one's just a little bit too big. Just trying to get a visual here. Okay, yeah, I can actually line it up with this cross here. So I know this is a design in a cross, but I'm actually going to use these edges here to my advantage. So I'm going to go in here and cut out the part that I want. And I'm just going to cut right around. And I'm going to use this corner here. So I'm ending up with, I've cut all this out and I'm ending up with a piece that is, hold on, I got a message taken out of the screen. Do you ever Mod Podge seal the transfers? You can. I actually haven't with any of mine because they're not in like any super high traffic areas, but you could use Mod Podge. The other thing you can do is use any type of spray. Um, so like acrylic spray or I feel like sprays are kind of easier to use. But yeah, you definitely could. Again, mine are not in high traffic areas, so I have not done any of that. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna use it. Um, cover up that spot. So this is me fixing it not fitting. One way to do it. If it's on fabric, I would definitely do a sealant and maybe even that, fabric Mod Podge. Okay, so this is what I have on here now, and I'm just gonna use the transfer tool again to overlay it. But it shouldn't stick to your hands or anything. It will keep it cleaner if you seal it. If you're using the keychains that are on our site, I would definitely seal those because, that's gonna be, like, high wear and tear, and you don't want it to come off or get torn. Again, just working over this to get it on there. Trying to get an edge that I there we go. Lift it off. Okay, and then I just have that little tail I'm gonna have to sand off. I keep putting my stuff in some weird other place. So that kinda covered up the little spot where it didn't fit there, and it's just adding some more flowers to the bottom. Get all my trash out of the way here. So you can see, is it focusing? Trying to focus there. Um, so that would be an option for that one. That's not really pretty. I like that. How cute would this be on, like, a little gift? Just grabbing one of my little things of lace here. Oh, I still had it. This might be too much texture going on. I don't know. I'm not using it for my, um, sign there, so we're good. Alright, I'm just gonna tie this, and then I think we can go ahead and try and stick the cross in my stand there. Scissors, scissors. Alright, so there's just, again, just another idea of something that you can do with, just using the transfers and the tag. You can definitely decoupage these tags too. So, you don't have to use the transfers, but like Kelly said, they're so easy to use. They literally get addicting. I had never used transfers before I actually designed and created these transfers. I just had people kept asking if I had rub-on transfers. "Do you sell rub-on transfers? Do you sell rub-on transfers? Do you sell rub" so I was like, "What are these rub-on transfers everyone's talking about?" So then I had to go through the whole process of finding them, finding out who makes, who I could have make them. Um, that was a whole journey. So, yeah, but we have them now, and so I'm just gonna stick my blue cross in here so you can kinda see what it looks like now that it's painted. I just gotta shove my little tails out of the way here again. Okay, I got it in there. Alright, so now you can see what it would look like if you, not like, see, but that's what it would look like if you do the cross in it, just the plain cross. And again, you could decoupage this cross with one of the hymnal napkins, would be really pretty. Or any other types of papers, like if you wanted some like mosaic, you could do layer different papers and stuff on it. I think it would look really good too. But this is just another option of what you could do. And because we have the He is risen tag on there, it's still Easter. And then if it wasn't Easter, you could take off the He is risen, or you could do a different a tag on there. But that is pretty much what we ended up with. So, all right, who is that? Linda says she loves that. So we have version one, or again, I'm gonna put it down so that I don't break it. You can take out your little cross and then put in your disc. But I have to get it in there so that it's straight there. And then you have version two. So tons of different options with that. I really love how this one turned out. I think it's way better than my first one. You can see my first one. This was the first one that I did. It's just not as full. I don't like how the vines ended up. The vines are very symmetrical, and so I just didn't like how it turned out. But I do love the base of this one with 3 big flowers. So this is another version, but again, when I put the flowers on this, I can't take the center off. Like, they won't move 'cause the flowers were so big, I had to glue them to that actual, circle. So this one, you can take it out and then switch it out. See, now I can do it when I'm holding it. There you go. So very versatile. Change it out for every season. It's a great little centerpiece. This is one of my favorite projects that we've done so far. I'm not gonna lie, because it has so many different versions that you can do, and you can keep switching it out. So, like someone had asked, as soon as all of the kits are sold, I'm gonna put the additional discs on the website. So if you want to buy extra discs that you can switch out, um, then you'll be able to get these for every season. You can have a Christmas one. You could do all different seasons. And then also you could run some ribbon around here too. I didn't get this crazy with the ribbon today because I wasn't sure how it was going to work with the vines being twisted around it, but it's worked really well. So like Kelly said, yeah, the key is just to make sure you're gluing everything to your base and not to whatever centerpiece that you have on there. Oh, Kelly wants a pack of 12. That's a good idea. So you would have one for each month. I will take you up on that, Kelly. I will do a pack of 12. That's really smart. If you're using this as your piece, then definitely you're gonna want 12 because there's 12 seasons. It's sneaky little I have one little tag back here that it's the one little vine that keeps blocking whenever I stick the thing in and out. And if it wasn't doing that, it would be so much easier, but it's such a pain. So I need 2 hands to stick. But yeah, I can definitely do a package of 12, which would go great with the if you haven't seen in the site, the Holy Holidays kit has 13 seasonal napkins in it. So there's like it's got Valentine's Day, it's got Christmas, it's got Ash Wednesday, it's got Easter, obviously, it's got Thanksgiving. Is that all the holidays I think that it does? So that would be a great set to get with your 12 there, back in there, your 12 discs so that you can switch it out. Or even if you're removing it, Kelly, you could technically do, not that this helps me any because you're buying less, but you could do 6. I'll do a 6 pack too, and you could do it if you're on a budget, you could do one pattern on one side, and then on the other side, you could do another pattern because it just flips right in there. So there we go. She's like, yes, yes. So then also you don't have to store 12 different discs because, you know, if you're like me, sometimes it's hard to find places to stick everything. So, storage is also an issue. Okay. So for the project we did today, we've got the disc one. We just painted the cross. Again, you can decoupage it. We've got our one little gift tag that we did. It's hard to see it. My light's like all funky. Sorry. I'll put it this way so you can see it. Maybe if I get my hands in the right spot. No, there we go. So you've got that gift tag, and then we did the base, and then also with the base, we did the second gift tag here. Try to get it so that you can see it. So that second little tag that you can use in your base or not, and I just literally like just wrapped it around the back of it. So it's just sitting there. It's not like tucked in there. It's literally just kind of sitting on there. So if I wanted to take it off, I could just take it out of there and it comes right off. So again, not permanent, so that you can mix and match. And then you could do the tag too for every season. So I'm just gonna stick that right back in there. And I think that is about it.